about discriminating against someone with hair, the way they wear their hair. But here's the thing. Federal laws don't have to respect guidelines made by EEOC. So EEOC may say you can't do that, but if it goes to the federal level doesn't have to respect that. Most of these, you have to go to whatever your handbook says, and then that's left up to whoever is in authority over you, like a supervisor. And most of these, because I researched it, most of these laws or these handbooks say keep your hair keep your hairdos away from extreme hairdos. Keep it decent. Well, what's extreme? Keeping it a decent hairdo to Europeans is looking like a white woman. That's what they consider having a professional, that's the actual language that they use. Have a professional hairdo, and extreme hairdos is prohibited. But what's extreme? What is their definition of extreme? Not looking like a white woman? Not having your hair straight, flat iron, or wig, or processed? And again, I'm not ragging on any sisters that wear their hair that way. I mean, if you was my woman, I would prefer you to wear it natural. Black woman, look beautiful anywhere you wear your hair. Sister Ya, can you tell us, I believe you're an attorney, can you tell us what the laws are about wearing your hair natural? Because I believe you're an attorney, man. This is a powerful sister. I watch her stuff on Facebook, and she be dropping some knowledge. Sis, can you let us know, is there any laws prohibiting black women from wearing their hair in locks and dreads? Because that's what the feedback I get from sisters, that's what they consider extreme. Anything that don't look like a white woman. What is the laws? But when I look in the handbooks, and I look at these stories nationwide, they consider that extreme. And if you try to go to the EEOC and try to make a case about it, like it's this sister, one of the most well-known cases, she worked for a company called Critical Management Solutions. And she decided to lock her hair. She took it to the EEOC. The EEOC said she had a case. They said, okay, you work in pharmacy. I thought you was an attorney, sis. I'm sorry. Sis, can you still give us some feedback on that? Because I know you're very knowledgeable on these things. I thought you were an attorney. I'm sorry. But I'll wait for her feedback on that if she has any. I'm sorry, sis. I thought you was an attorney. But this sister with the Critical Management Solutions, she took it to the EEOC. But once it got to the federal level, because her supervisors was telling her that her hair is unprofessional, and she took it to the EEOC. But once it went to the federal level, this is when I start seeing the distinction when it comes to law, because we have to know our rights. The federal government in that Title VII says nothing about enforcing anything about hair, and they saying our hair, the way sisters wear their hair, is not connected to race. So that's how they get off. Again, the way a sister wears her hair isn't connected to race, so that's how they get around not getting into these lawsuits behind the way sisters wear their hair, unless they have specific guidelines in their handbooks, which most of them don't, that says you can't do it. It's very vague. That's how they get around it. Most handbooks just simply say, it just simply says that your hair is supposed to look professional and to stay away from extreme hairdos. But what's their definition of extreme? Their definition of extreme, again, is not looking like a white woman. So we have to know our rights when it comes to these handbooks, because most of us, like, I'm getting ready to start my job with therapy next week. I'm gonna look at that handbook, because I ran into similar issues with my job, because I'm Muslim, I wear a beard, and I wear my kufi. But see, that's related to religion, and they still tried me. So if they tried me with that because they think I don't know my rights, I know they're gonna try sisters with the hair issue. I know they are. And I had to back up some black people off of this to show how sick some of our people are. I used to be a counselor at a juvenile detention center in North Carolina, and I was sitting there reading the handbook, and this no good, silly ass Negro supervisor want to say, you can't wear that on your head. You can't wear caps on your head. I said, yeah, baseball caps, but this has to do with my faith. Oh, well, they must have revised the handbook. I said, revise the handbook? I said, sis, it's right here. It says you can wear something on your head if it has to do with religion. She didn't think I knew my rights. And I had to show her. I said, now, I got a Muslim brother in Philly, close to where I'm from. He just won $250,000 off of a piece of a cloth. Now, if y'all want this facility to be called Muhammad's Juvenile Detention Center, just keep on bothering me about this kufi. And then once she saw I knew what I was talking about, then she backed up off me. Then she tried to bother me in other ways, but she's just a plain Negro. So you got a lot of Negroes that will do the white man's work. That's why we're having so much of a hard time in different areas in our society. I'm not getting off topic. This is all on topic. In the school system, because I used to be a counselor in the school system. I used to work with children with mental health issues. The reason why we're having so much problems in the school system is years ago when we were in school, those who are about my age, when we was coming up in the 80s and the 90s, in the 70s, it was clear that it was racism because most of the teachers were white, the principals was white, the assistant principal was white, the counselors was white. But now that more black people are going to college and getting degrees, now in these schools now, you got principals that are black, assistant principals are black counselors like myself, but white supremacy is still there. It's just with a black face. So now when they are doing the work of white supremacy, now the powers that be say, we're not doing it. It's not racism. Your teacher is black. Your principal is black. Your assistant principal is black. The whole school is black. It's not us. But it's still white supremacy. It's just black people, black androids doing the work. So now in these workplaces, it's some of the same thing. Some black people carrying out the work of the white man, making it hard for us because they choose to do their hair and to bow down. Now they're making it hard for us. Right, they have issues with anything they don't understand and anything that's different from them. So I'm just encouraging sisters, when you get right, your president was black, but white supremacy got even worse. That's one thing I'm trying to get us to understand. And black people, they are Obama'd out. Think that man ain't do nothing. He did nothing for us. He said nothing. And I think Dr. Amos Wilson reminded us of that. He said something to the effect of, when you see blacks getting in power, you will see more bloodshed in the streets, because then it'll be a black face on it. They said, we didn't do it, they did it. I think Dr. Amos Wilson made a comment, something similar to that. But I'm just encouraging us to know our rights and look in those handbooks and whatever the guidelines say. But keep in mind, there is nothing on a federal level that prohibits them from doing this. But it could be some language in there that help us out, but we got to challenge them. We shouldn't just be flat ironing our hair and spending hundreds of dollars a year on weaves and flat irons and relaxers and burning out your scalp just because they're trying to put some pressure on us. We got to challenge them. But they don't want us to have anything. We can't even wear our hair the way we want to. We've got to challenge them, and we got to know our rights, and we can't wait till it comes to then start backtracking and looking through manuals and all that stuff. Know ahead of time, because someone is going to say something. Unless you got a hell of a supervisor or a hell of a black supervisor or something that understands, going to speak up for you. People got to survive these days, and they picking that dollar over principle. That's just the way it is. So I just wanted to bring this issue up because I've had so many sisters coming to me and bringing this issue up to me that they're going to give up their beautiful natural hair because they supervisor, or some of it ain't even supervisor. It's just pressure. No one wants to be the oddball out. No one wants to be someone who everyone is just looking at, in a strange way. So sometimes we buckle under pressure and we don't have to. I'm not here to impress anyone. I don't care what they think. I'm gonna wear my kufi. I'm gonna wear my beard. Plain and simple. Because I know my rights. But that hair thing is a little different because of the laws. It's a little different. It's a little tricky. So I'm just encouraging sisters to keep your natural hair and fight for your rights. Keep your hair. And brothers, encourage your sisters. We need to treat our women better. We need to tell them they're beautiful. To keep their self-esteem up. Because a lot of sisters have low self-esteem. Which leads into depression. Anxiety. That's right up my field. That's what I do. I see it all the time. That's a monster to deal with depression and anxiety, especially when they don't need to be because of depression. Keep encouraging our sisters. These sisters, they're not perfect, just like we're not perfect, but they've been there for us since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, the black woman was there. When these demons came into Africa and forced us out of our land and put us on slave ships by force, she was there. When they was raping us on the boats and throwing us overboard into the Atlantic Ocean by the dozens for the sharks to come eat us up like a piece of meat, they was there. When they brought us here and tarred and feathered the whip and beat us in front of our family, stripped us of our name, our culture, our ways, she was there. Through the civil rights movement, she was there. When they were spraying us with hoses, she was there. When they finally supposedly let us go and gave us our freedom, and we was out in the streets wilding out, drinking and doing whatever, she was still there. No one else was there except the black woman. Name me another woman that was there with us through all our trials and tribulations since we came here. Name her. Show me her. That other woman that some of us just adore, mainly these athletes, look at the pictures. Get the book Without Sanctuary, when it shows how they were lynching black men, or get the book 100 Years of Lynching. And they actually have the pictures, which they made into postcards of the lynchings. You will see in almost every one of them pictures, the white woman there encouraging the lynching of black men, women, and children. But through all that, the black woman was there. She has always been there for us. So the least we can do is show her more respect and encourage her and let her know that she's the baddest thing walking on this earth. No disrespect to anyone else. It's just encouraging our women. All right? Let her know she is the baddest thing walking on this earth. I just can't imagine anything else. I just can't. If you're color struck, you can get them chocolate, red bone, so to speak, light, dark, tall and thick, short and thick, tall and slim, short and slim. Any flavor, size, or shape you want, we got it. Who else got that? I love my Latino sisters too. You know, they cool. But the black woman, whew. So, again, this is the Hour of Power with Brother Shareef. Go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube. Subscribe and share so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Encourage our people. Share the videos that I have done on substance abuse and drugs. It is very important. We are losing way too many of our people behind drug abuse and drug addiction. I did a talk on that about a week ago about the difference between drug abuse and drug addiction. There is a difference, but either way you slice it, we are losing too many of our people to drug addiction, either through the criminal justice system or by death. Losing too many. My brother and sister, uncles. I just came from my brother's funeral last week. May he rest in peace. It is an awful, awful thing. It's trying. It's not easy when you have a family member who is addicted to drugs because they're not in their right mind. But we have to wrap our arms around them, nurture them, and try to get them the help so they can get back to themselves. And this is on purpose. And now they're suffering from it. This is on purpose. This is a purpose attempt with these drugs. Like Malcolm said, they could clean this up overnight if they wanted to. But no one makes us put that pipe in front of us or whatever it is that we're using.